Out on a fight over how to fund historically black colleges and universities. An extension expired October 1st, but senators still are at odds how to make all of this work out.
Jennifer Bellamy explains the sticking points and what's at stake for students and schools. A lot of people watching closely, Jennifer.
Yeah, this could mean a shortfall of $4.2 million for HBCUs nationwide and other schools that serve minorities, just like Morehouse, Spelman, and Clark Atlanta right here in our own community.
For nearly 200 years, historically black colleges and universities have served tens of thousands of students, starting during a time when other schools wouldn't. In the last 20 years, 6 HBCUs have closed their doors, leaving 101 currently in operation, down from what was once 120. But now a partisan stalemate in the Senate could further impact the livelihoods of these schools and the educational experience of students enrolled in them across the country. It could also leave staff members in the lurch as well. Democrats and Republicans can't agree on how to move forward with funding the schools after a previous measure expired October 1st when Congress failed to extend it. This week, Democrats offered a short-term extension that had already passed the House, while Republicans argued for action to permanently fund the schools as part of a larger bipartisan package of higher education proposals. According to U.S. News, Senate Republicans are refusing to consider the House's 2-year extension plan because of how it's funded. Senate Democrats, on the other hand, balked at the GOP's plan, saying it would kill any chance for Congress to pass a more comprehensive reauthorization of the federal higher education law, which hasn't been updated in more than a decade. Now, while Republicans accuse Democrats of trying to take a shortcut and Democrats blame Republicans for holding institutions hostage, it's students and staff at institutions like Morehouse, Clark Atlanta, and Spelman who are left to deal with the potential fallout.
And Education Secretary Betsy DeVos has reportedly assured HBCUs that the Education Department has enough funding to help them operate through the end of the fiscal year. Meanwhile, a spokeswoman for Georgia Senator David Perdue said renewing federal funding for HBCUs is a top priority for him, and he's hoping both sides can come to an agreement soon so there's no major lapse in funding. Senator Johnny Isakson's office says he's disappointed that no agreement has been reached, but will continue working towards making long-term funding stability.
All right, Jennifer, thank you. A plant that